Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that gulp didn't sound like it normally sounds because I didn't have coffee. This morning I have water. I'm doing, I'm not drinking coffee for a while. So, anyway, I don't like water. So that's why you didn't get the. I'm the amazing T Street. And I'm so excited to bring this topic to you. I've been wanting to do this topic because I do a workshop on this. Actually, I do a whole keynote around the 4 P's. But today I want to start with this because it's heavy on my heart. I was talking to my sister. If you don't know, my sister's my BFF. And we were talking about an article that talks about when people get to the end of their lives, the thing that they have the most regret about is that they never found and then chased their purpose. And people who have regrets at the end tend to be people who never understood or found their purpose. And so today I want to talk about how to find and chase your purpose. Now, your purpose isn't something that you stumble on accidentally or you just kind of discover it while you're scrolling on your chase at home. And it's not something that just falls in your lap. Purpose is something that you discover and then you decide to pursue. Now, I want to go back to the discover piece. To discover something says it was already there. It wasn't new, it was already there. So when you're discovering your purpose, for the record, it was in you when you got here. So your discovering it is just what makes it new. But it's not enough to just discover it. You have to decide to pursue it because finding purpose gives you direction, but chasing purpose gives you transformation. So today I want to give you 3 steps. And if I don't get through all three today, I will turn this into a series because it's that important. People ask me all the time, T, you talk about your purpose. How do you find your purpose? That's one of the number one questions that I get from adults and from kids. And so I want to spend time on this. I don't want to rush it to fit into this box of coffee with tea. So if I don't get through all 3 points today, I may give you the other points tomorrow. And then after that, I'm going to talk about principle. And then after that, I'm going to talk about passion because people think that passion would naturally be next after purpose. Passion is number 3. Number 2 is principle. So I want to make sure that I cover this if that's all right with y'all. So this is what we're going to do. Good morning, Pastor Rick. Good morning, Miss Teresa. Good morning, Deaconess Rhonda. Good morning, Miss Brown. I want to cover this and I want to do it well. So I'm going to make sure that I talk about this purpose thing in a way that really brings forth how do you find it and then how do you chase it. Y'all, I never intended to work with kids. I'm not going to be emotional, and I never wanted to have children. Before I formed you, I knew you. I'm so glad that God knew me before I knew me. I discovered my purpose. It wasn't new, it was just new to me. So I came on today to tell somebody the first step that you have to do if you really want to find your purpose is you have to look inward before you look outward. What does that mean? You don't find purpose by copying someone else's path. You find purpose by paying attention to your own. Here's what I did, and here's what I always tell people. Start to ask yourself these questions. Write these down, y'all, or come back and listen to it on YouTube. What makes me come alive? What hurts my heart when I see it? And what do people naturally ask me to help with? Now, anybody who knows me knows you can put a kid in front of me and I forget every adult who's in the room. When I see that a kid is hurting or in need or died, y'all, you would have thought it was my personal child because it breaks me down. And every time I turn around, somebody wants me to come and do something. Can you talk to my kid? Can you speak at the funeral? Can you do something related to kids? Y'all, that's a clue that that's a part of my purpose. Your purpose usually lives at the intersection of your passion, your pain, and your capacity. I don't use the word potential because I believe that potential doesn't mean anything. Your purpose usually lives at the intersection of your passion, your pain, and your capacity to do those things. So stop minimizing what comes naturally to you. That might be the very thing that you were created to do. Purpose doesn't start outside. It starts within you. So I'm going to give y'all some homework. That's why I said this we may not get through all of this today. I'm going to give y'all some homework. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to take 10 minutes. I don't want you to wait until the middle of the week. I want you to take 10 minutes today, whether it's this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whenever you got 10 free minutes. And I want you to write down 3 things that you love, 3 things that you are really good at, and 3 problems in our community, in our church, in our world that you care passionately about. I can tell you something. You're going to see the alignment. If you're honest when you create these lists, you're going to see the alignment, because that's not random. That's revelation. Oop, I can drop the mic right there. Good morning, Pastor Reese. Erica, good morning. That's not random, y'all. If those 3 things line up for you, it's not random. It's revelation. The second thing you got to do, move forward even when you're unsure. How do you find and chase your purpose? Now, you found it because you've looked at this alignment sheet. But how do you, just because you find your purpose don't mean you're going to move in it. Y'all, when I realized that I was supposed to work with kids and I didn't want to, can I tell you, I went through a state of depression. I was like, I got to take a $55,000 pay cut, and I got to go do the thing that I said I never wanted to do. But can I tell you, woo, I'm so glad that my mama made me be obedient. Even before I was a Christian, she made me be obedient. Once you find a glimpse of your purpose, don't overthink it. Move. Purpose doesn't require certainty, y'all. It requires courage. Yes, you're going to feel unqualified. Yes, you're going to feel unprepared. Yes, you're going to feel unsure. Y'all, I'm a little black girl from the south side of Columbus. I've spoken in stadiums with 10,000 people. Y'all, I was not qualified. I was not prepared. And yes, every time, even to this day, that I step on a stage, I'm still unsure. That's normal. But purpose doesn't wait on confidence. It responds to obedience. Ooh, that's a word for somebody, y'all. Purpose doesn't wait on confidence. It responds to obedience. Start small. Send the message. Sign up for the class. Volunteer in that area. Show up. Y'all, that's how it starts. That's how it started for me. I started volunteering and didn't want to in the woods. Black people don't go in the woods. My first venture with kids was in the woods in Delaware. And that's the weekend that changed my whole life, y'all. Every step teaches you something. Every attempt gives you clarity, and momentum comes from the motion and the action that you're willing to take. And I am going to get to the third point today. Stay faithful when the journey gets hard. The first time the journey got hard for me was the first time I had to bury a kid that I loved. The journey was hard. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to feel that pain again. So I said, I don't want to work with kids no more. But I knew that it was my purpose. Finding purpose is exciting. In the beginning, it was exciting because I was working 80-hour weeks, y'all. 80 hours a week sometimes, because I finally found my purpose and it was good and it didn't feel like work. But when I buried my first kid, it was heavy. There are going to be days when you wonder if it's even worth it. Can I tell you, this ministry walk right now, hardest thing I've ever done. And can I be real honest with you? I told God last week, I don't want it. But can I tell you, your purpose is bigger than your frustration. Consistency will carry you when your motivation runs out. That's why this can be a motivational moment for you. Purpose is part of the lifetime commitment thing. So guard it. Watch who speaks into your life. Everybody can't speak into my life. I got a word for you. God told me. And so if what you tell me is contradictory to what God told me, you ain't got no word for me. You got a word for somebody else. Watch what drains your energy. Y'all, I don't do a whole lot of adult stuff because it drains the energy that I need to serve our babies. Y'all, our babies got a lot of needs. I can't waste it on the draining of adults. And watch what distracts your focus. In this season, y'all, I am laser focused. Fasting and praying, I am laser focused. Surround yourself with people who remind you who you are when you forget. Last week, I had some of my sisters come alongside me and remind me who God says that I am. Purpose isn't proven in comfort, it's revealed in commitment. If you stay faithful to the process, purpose will meet you on the path. I'm going to close by saying you'll find purpose by listening. You chase purpose by moving. So look inward, step forward, and stay faithful. And remember, purpose isn't hiding from you, it's waiting on your next brave step to find it. It's already there. You just got to discover it. Find your purpose, then chase it like your future and other people's future depends on it, because it does. I'm the Amazing T Street, and I know this went long today, y'all, but I just felt led to tell you it's time for you so that when you get to the end of your life, you won't have regrets. It's time for you to find and chase your purpose. Have an amazing, amazing